It's interesting to see how different brands deal with homage watches. On one hand, you have a brand like Studio Underdog. They celebrated the fact that their watch was popular enough to be homage, and they even went one step further to homage the homage. On the other hand, you have a brand like IWC, who allegedly lawyered up and stopped this watch from being sold. It's been taken down from the main AliExpress store and website. Yes, this is a very close homage to the IWC Engineer, there's no getting around it. But I mean, let's be real, no one who's looking at a $13,000 IWC is going to buy a $250 homage. So I wasn't sure why they went after IXDAO as hard as they did. After spending some time with this watch though, I think I understand why they did it. This $250 watch is just too good for the price, and it's probably going to make a lot of people question the prices that high-end brands are asking. But is this watch really gone for good? Or is there a way you can still get one today? Stick around to the end to find out. It's strange for me to call the case a standout feature when you have a mother of pearl dial, but that's just how good the case is. The quality of the case finishing just screamed out at me the moment I unboxed it. Seriously, I handle a lot of watches across the price spectrum, but this watch was the first time I let out an audible gasp when I unboxed it. I'm not just saying it's good for the price, it's incredible, full stop. The finishing on this is on par with my Christopher Ward Sealander, and if you've owned a Christopher Ward, you'll know how good their case finishing is. The alternating finishes combine in a way that makes the light just dance off it. It's beautiful to look at. The steel finish has a certain sheen to it that makes this $250 watch look and feel like a luxury watch. I can't believe I said that, but that's just how I feel. The case dimensions are going to suit the majority of wrist sizes, but keep in mind, integrated bracelet watches wear larger than their dimensions suggest. The 40mm Tissot PRX always felt too large for me, but this IXDAO wears a bit smaller than that. The flat side profile looks interesting, but it's not the most comfortable case to wear because the lugs don't curve around the wrist. This made the watch head bobble around my wrist a bit more than I'd like. This could just be an issue because I didn't get a good fit on the bracelet, but we'll talk more about that a bit later. On to the crystal. It's a flat sapphire with clear air coating on the underside, and there's even a film to prevent fingerprints on top of the crystal. Now, I have no way of verifying this claim, but from what I can see, it's very clear and high quality, so I'm just gonna take their word for it. The black mother of pearl dial is just stunning to look at. It's surprisingly discreet in diffuse lighting, but when the light hits it just right, the dial comes to life with its intricate patterns and colors. IXDAO has different color options if you're not a fan of the black mother of pearl, and if you want a more traditional look, they also have the waffle pattern dials in their catalog. The dial itself looks really clean. You just have the IXDAO logo on top and that cheeky line of text at the bottom. The finishing on the hands and applied indices is excellent. They're all polished and they're done so to a very high standard. I couldn't find a single speck of dust or blemish anywhere on this dial. The lume is a cool blue BDW9 and they've applied a decent amount of it. There's a consistent application on the hands and indices, and you won't have a problem reading the time if you wake up in the middle of the night. On to the movement. It's a PT5000 and I'm fairly sure IXDAO regulates these. I've had great experience with all of the PT5000s I've had, but this one takes the cake. I got a steady plus 2 seconds per day on this unit, and that's more accurate than some of my way more expensive watches. If you're not a fan of this movement, IXDAO even offers Lita SW200 or ETA 2824 options if you want to go down the Swiss route. Bracelet quality on integrated bracelet watches is very important, and the bracelet here does not disappoint at all. It's finished to the same high level as the case. The outer and inner links have polished bevels on the side that add that bit of visual flair. Even the butterfly clasp feels incredibly high quality. The push release buttons have a spring-loaded sensation, and the clasp snaps open smoothly. It's hard to explain how good it feels, but I've never had a butterfly clasp that felt this nice to operate. As good as the clasp is, there aren't any micro adjustment positions. And IXDAO didn't provide half links either. This was the main complaint people had with this watch, and guess what? IXDAO listened to this feedback. They started providing half links with the latest batch, and you can even buy half links separately if you want to get one. I have to give them props for going the extra mile with that. In case you couldn't already tell from this review, I'm quite blown away by this watch, and that doesn't happen very often. Honestly, I have no idea how IXDAO managed to pull this off at this price point. Sure, it's not perfect and it's nowhere near IWC's league when it comes to movement and heritage. But those things aside, I can't believe how good they've made this watch for only $250. If you don't mind the homage aspect and you could only choose one Chinese watch to have in your collection, this is hands down the one I'd recommend you to get. But wait, can you still get these? I mean, hasn't IXDAO stopped selling them? Well, not quite. They've removed actual photos of the watch from their listing, but you can still pick them up from the time being. I'm not sure how long that's going to last though. I've left links in the description if you want to pick one up before they're gone for good. But I want to hear from you. What do you think of the IXDAO Engineer? Do you think it serves as a wake-up call to high-end brands by showing us how good a $200 watch can actually be? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. If you want to check out some other great Chinese watches, check out these videos over here. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you like the content, and I'll see you in the next one.